Well, we were thinking about
making a knight class
because we were thinking about the Crusader
idea
that we had, and so then we were thinking we could do a knight class.
You just convert it to a knight class, and then you have the Crusader, you have the Knights Templar, you have a Magic Knight, you have the different theme knights, like Knights of the Round Table kind of thing, right? There's just a lot of good material there.
But we were thinking we could make it similar to like a paladin almost, where you're following either a king or some religious group,
or a code, whatever, some kind of
somebody anyway. Some physical person. I feel like would be best. But then they'll send you quests that you have to go on, and if you don't complete these,
samurai could be a subclass too.
It could.
Because samurai they're a version
they're
of
a warrior.
They're a version of that.
Knight, technically.
Yeah. It's kind of the same concept. It's just different culture.
Yeah.
But
then we were thinking because you know how there's the the fallen paladin, or what is it called?
Yeah, it's called Oathbreaker.
Oathbreaker.
So we were thinking of doing
it could be something similar
an exiled,
like an exiled knight.
Or a Ronin, or something like that. You could call it whatever you want, but
yeah, that sounds cool.
But you could get. I mean, I feel like with that, you should get a handful of perks. Especially if you're within the city or whatever.
Same as with the Oathbreaker Paladin. They get different powers.
Yeah.
Right. Honor, right, could be a resource kind of, because they all sort of have, they have to be on a certain level. So you could use that as a resource.
Well, I guess I'll just introduce the podcast.
Yeah, I mean,
even though we could probably
we're doing a podcast.
Yeah. Hey everyone, welcome back to Roleplay Central. We're just kind of chilling and talking today. We don't really necessarily have a topic that we're going to talk about. We hopefully have better audio now, which is something to mention, I guess.
Yeah.
Let us know if it's not.
Writing that up on the document, though. We should really work on that, I think. I think that's a good idea.
I realized the other day, you should
include that in the episode.
Yeah. We should also get into releasing that one adventure thing or one shot we came up with the magic pack. We still haven't gotten that done yet. Remember?
Oh yeah. Maybe we should do another one of those, because that's it's not really fresh anymore.
Well, maybe next time we can do that. I'll get a magic pack and we'll do that. It'd be fun to try doing that with Lorcana and stuff too, with Disney characters.
I haven't even looked at Lorcana.
It looks fun. I want to try playing it.
I haven't even looked at it.
I mean, I've seen it on TikTok.
It looks
pack openings and stuff.
So interesting to me. I want to play it so bad. They're doing a release party this weekend at Game Grid, so I might go play it. I've been trying to decide if I'm gonna or not. I know you won't, because you won't be here.
Nope, won't be here.
But yeah.
But I mean, I'm not really interested in getting into another
card game.
Expensive card game,
right?
Yeah, right.
I know.
One that looks really interesting to me is called Sorcery. I know you've heard of it. It's a card game, but it's also tactical. So you have to play on a board, and there are spaces, and it's a card game like Magic the Gathering. But anyway, so you can attack your players' land that they put down, and you can attack them, right? And you have to place things on the board in certain spots. You know what I mean? There are a lot of rules around it, but anyways, I like it because it adds a tactical, physical element,
right,
to the actual game.
It just makes me think of Warhammer.
On top of us making our own card game.
I want to play Warhammer.
If I had a freaking money to get into it.
I want to do Warhammer.
But it's so freaking expensive.
It's too expensive. But
it's so freaking expensive.
Well, if you can print stuff like this on a consistent basis, you could play. Can you print your own stuff? for Warhammer?
I don't see one.
Or is it against the rules or something?
No, I would think that you could probably print your own stuff.
Yeah, I wouldn't think you. I don't know why it would be.
It's an interesting thing to think about. I don't know the rules behind that.
You can probably.
Yeah, I bet there's no problem.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't think so, but
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, I could see like, whoever makes Warhammer, I don't know who it is, putting a stipulation on.
I hear they have a pretty good role playing game.
Their own products they make.
Have you guys heard of Warhammer role playing game? I hear they have a pretty good role playing game, but I've never actually looked at it.
I don't even know.
Did you know that?
Have you heard anything on the other than the name of the MCDM?
They just released the name.
Do we know any mechanics or anything?
Yeah, they've been releasing videos.
Okay.
Pretty consistently about and they've been releasing like playtest packets to their patrons. I'm not on their Patreon, so I don't have the playtest material. Right. But yeah, they are updating the YouTube. Right.
What do they end up calling it again?
Draw Steel.
Draw Steel.
I think it sounds cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that game's gonna be a lot of fun. I backed that when it was on Kickstarter. But.
Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff that's going to be coming out. We got. Who do you think's going to make it first, DC-20 or MCDM? Or
I mean MCDM, they were playtesting for like a year before they even launched the Kickstarter, so they're pretty far.
Yeah.
Right.
I just wonder who's going to make it out of the gate first.
And I know, like I told you guys earlier, Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere RPG just got announced and is on Kickstarter. And I looked at it today, and it's almost at 4 million.
Jeez.
Day one. I think it's
well, it makes sense if he's that popular. I mean,
but yeah,
wow.
I mean,
that's crazy.
I mean, his books are on my list, but I've never actually read any of his books. So I'm not familiar with it, but like,
I think my sister liked
I know, like, he's one of the biggest fantasy authors right now.
Yeah,
that's all. His name again?
Brandon Sanderson. He's done Mistborn and like the Stormlight Archive.
He even plays Magic too.
He owns a bunch of land in Utah. He's LDS.
Yeah, he's been in Game Nights.
Yeah, he plays Magic.
Has a cube.
He plays D&D. I think. Well, I mean, I would assume he plays D&D.
Yeah, I thought there was something huge with him though. Like I thought
I think it's Brother. I think the company that's making the game is called Brotherwise Games. I have no idea who they are, but I mean, if he's behind it, then I think it's probably going to be cool.
Yeah, right? I kind of wish he would have like taken over Evermore or something. Like
he turned it into he bought huge. The land. I think he owns the land that Evermore's on.
Yeah.
Oh really? I did see some stuff in the news about it.
Mm-hmm.
They're planning on reopening.
Are they going to reopen it?
Reopening, really?
Cool. I don't know if it's going to be called Evermore anymore.
It'll probably be something else.
Because
when it opens, we can record a video.
Yeah, because I was like, man, sure I missed the chance to go to an actual.
I mean, I know they're doing a lot of stuff over there, and I don't know how long it'll be until.
It's like that. Like I missed my only chance of going to a actual LARPing event. Seeing what that's all like.
I mean, it's pretty fun.
It's only I think it's only worth it if you actually get into character and you
I've done
you
a
do
couple
that.
Times.
Otherwise, it's kind of subpar. I've heard from people, but
did you get into character?
Yeah. I didn't dress up or anything. If that's what you want.
Well, I'm not even saying that.
You could just tear up your shirt really bad in your pants and go because there were hobos back then.
Yeah.
You just go as a hobo.
Yeah.
Take some scissors to your pants and your shirt. Throw some dirt on it.
Yeah, wipe some mud on your face a little bit.
And you're in character.
Close one eye and look real weird.
Yeah. Get an eye patch.
Stick a rock on top of your head.
Get an eye patch. Get like a fake tattoo.
Yep.
So we could be funny to go dressed as like a Python character.
What?
A Monty Python character.
Yeah.
And instead of like armor, you wear like
Speaking of Monty Python, have you guys heard they released a Universes Beyond a Magic thing for Monty Python?
Oh man, I hope they don't do that. They shouldn't do that.
They did a whole.
They're gonna ruin it.
It wasn't a Universes Beyond. It was a secret layer. That's what it was.
Right?
Yeah. It was a secret layer. So they just take cards and they reformat them and put art on them to fit the theme. Right? They just retheme cards. That's all they do. In secret layers. So,
I mean, Magic is just kind of ruined.
Yeah.
It's kind of turned into a little bit of a joke.
What?
It's kind of turned into a little bit of a joke. I feel like.
That's why I'm wanting to move to Lorcana. Like, I'd want to move from Magic to Lorcana because I think that's a much easier to understand game. There's no like instant speed things. Everything can only be done in your turn. And the whole 2 ways to win is get to 20 lore before your opponent or mill them out, essentially.
Really?
That's it. That's basically the win conditions. I mean, it's more complex than that, but and I don't 100% know everything about the game yet, but yeah, what else is new in the
just all the D&D 2024 stuff, like they're still released. Remember I was telling you at Gen Con, that whole mess, right? They tried to roll out the VTT, and it was it was a disaster. I didn't watch it, but I heard from a lot of people that it was bad because they couldn't figure out how to use the VTT. So the whole thing was just them trying to figure it out.
Meanwhile, Brandon Lee Mulligan is like, and then hang on a second.
No, I don't know. I didn't watch the video. Maybe I should watch it, but I mean, I heard that it didn't work out very good.
Yeah. Well,
there's a lot of D&D 2024 stuff. Do we want to? They kind of ruined the Ranger.
Yeah.
Right.
Have you seen XP to level 3's opinions on all this stuff? Like he loves Monk. He loves it. How they
he agrees on the Ranger though with a lot of the points that I talked about.
What did they do to the Ranger?
They really didn't do much. They just took away stuff and then said, "Hey, deal with it." Basically, like, well, they don't really give you much.
They leaned like heavier into the spell casting, and then didn't give them a lot of anything else. Right? They basically just threw more spells at the problem.
Well, they kind of took
and that's the problem that I have with it.
Yeah, they kind of took stuff from other abilities and meshed it into one ability. So, like, to give themselves room to build it with, and then they just put stuff in there that really doesn't matter. And a lot
of this stuff just doesn't scale very well. Like the 20th level feature, you would think that 20th level would be awesome.
Yeah,
it's like your Hunter's Mark deals a little bit extra damage.
Yep, that's 20th level. 20th level Ranger.
You know,
if they want people to play Ranger, they're not doing a good job at all.
If anything, do the Barbarian thing where you just give them +4 to 2 of their attributes, right? At least that's something, right?
Yeah.
But I think Ranger
that should be like the baseline for capstone abilities, right? The Barbarian thing, right? If you can't think of anything better, then you should do that.
Like, I think Rangers should be slightly less agile monks. Like, they should be on
I don't know.
Like, they know, like, in terms of like movement and stuff, like they should have similar things to a monk in movement, because like they're out in the wilderness and they have ignore difficult terrain and all that stuff, like all that should be just
maybe in the exploration tier, but I don't think they should get close to the movement speed during combat.
No,
right?
But like I'm just saying,
combat
like
movement speed.
But they should have other ways of movement.
Yeah,
like not necessarily the same as the monk, because they have to differentiate between classes, but like they should still be a sort of movement based class. Agile, dexterous fighter.
The only one I didn't really
uses weapons.
And the only one I didn't really see was the rogue.
Ranged,
but I heard I
feel like
I heard they nerfed the rogue, but I didn't actually see that video.
I'm trying to remember. They did.
I know with my version of Rogue, I upgraded. Oh yeah, that's one thing they did was they made it so you can only sneak attack once a turn.
Oh yeah,
that's one thing. So that was a big nerf because people were able to cheese out extra sneak attacks. But I mean that's part of the class.
They kind of did that with every class though. Like they took away
they took away a lot of the
smite with paladins.
They took away a lot of the tricks that you could do.
Yeah,
you know?
paladins like now spell and
the
not
little
a
things that you could pull off. They could get you a lot of extra damage.
Is it the smite or is it the divine intervention? It's a smite, right? That's the spell now.
Yeah, smite is a spell now. That's a big nerf.
Yeah,
because now it can be like counterspelled and stuff.
What's going to happen is what people thought was going to happen in the first place.
The fighters and that.
I bet you most people probably intertwine both 2014 and 2024 versions of
I'm not even buying the 2024. I mean, I pre-ordered the DMG, but I'm not buying any of the other books.
Yeah, I'm just going to get all of the books just so that I have all the updated information. But
I like a lot of what they're doing with the DMG, right? They're giving us the Greyhawk setting.
Yeah, the biggest thing about the book, the DMG especially, I think it's the DMG, or maybe it's the Player's Handbook. One of them has the indexing in the beginning. I love that. So you can just skip right to where you need to go and not have to sit there and scan each individual. Like you're going to a class looking for an ability, you don't know what level it is. Like which one is it? And whereas this index thing will give you a snippet of the general highlights of everything, and you don't have to go looking for it, you know?
But anyways, I'm not buying the monster book because there are too many monster books. I already have too many. I have all of the Tome of Beasts.
I want to get it solely
and those are huge. The Tome of Beasts books.
I want to get it solely for those Apex forms.
I have the Ghostfire monster creatures.
Like an Apex vampire or an elemental or something. Like I want to get the book for that specific thing that they mentioned.
And I say there's too many monster books, but then we've been talking about doing a monster book. But
yeah. there's not too many then.
There is too many.
Never enough.
We'll just add to it. Well, do we want to talk about one of our systems or no?
Well, I mean, yours is the most fleshed out.
Yeah. So for those that aren't aware, watching the podcast, I've mentioned this before, but I'm making we're all making our own RPG systems, but I'm making a hit point based system, and I have completely started over like 3 times at this point, and I finally got to a point where I like where it's going. It's going to be, if you've ever seen ICRPG, index card RPG, the numbers are going to be on the scale of that. Like when you create a character, your ability scores, which you only have 3, are going to be like really low to start with. Like it's only going to be like really 2-digit numbers. It should never hit 3 digits in theory. So it should be easy to play and understand. And it's all based upon your HP. Things scale on HP. And there's the introduction of blood points, which is a whole different thing. Which it's like basically like in Elden Ring and Dark Souls and games like that creatures drop experience or whatever, you know, or maybe not those games, but like Minecraft, that does happen. The creatures will drop experience when you kill them. That's essentially what blood points are, is experience, or it's points to progress your character or enter into spellcasting, which is another interesting thing. But yeah, that's the premise of it. Classes are really simple. They're called heroic styles, but they only have an maximum hit point increase and an ability. And a name. That's it.
So it's just one ability?
Yeah, I think I said one ability. Yeah. Yeah, the fighter, which was the only one I have currently, uses movement to get more on the attack roll or the damage. You have to specify before you roll which one you're doing. So it'll sacrifice some movement if they don't need to move as far and stuff like that. But yeah, that's where I'm at with mine. What about you, John? Where's yours at?
Same place it was.
Yeah, I think all he has is a ability score generation.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've been. And then we talked about that Elder Scrolls one,
which we still need to.
I have some written down for it.
We should work on that.
But I mean, that won't get released for a long time.
Yeah,
and only if we get like permission.
Yeah,
we'll release that.
But on top of that, we're already working on many different things at once. So it's not like we have.
Yeah, we got more coming out every month on the Patreon.
Yeah, Tyler's going to be releasing the next thing for Patreon.
Yeah, a few things. Yep.
Coming up sometime this month, and then I'm up next month.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah. Well, we had a pretty short one today, but that's okay. Thanks everyone for watching and listening on Spotify and wherever else you're listening on. Thanks again for everyone that's watching. Please like, share, and subscribe on the YouTube channel. And there's a way to support us on the RSS feed. There should be underneath the show somewhere underneath the description a support the show link or something like that. I think that should link directly to our Patreon.
Yeah.
So there's that. Other than that, just keep on
stuff available to both tiers. I think there's just 2 tiers, right?
There's 2 tiers, and so far we've got a class for the champions tier, which is the highest paid tier, and then we have another subclass for the lower $1 tier, and more coming.
Yep.
Yeah. And hopefully we can get some YouTube series started of some sort soon.
Yeah, we'll try to get on YouTube soon.
Yeah.
And TikTok. We got to start making TikToks.
Yeah.
We got to jump in on TikTok.
Yeah, we've dropped the ball on TikTok, that's for sure. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.